Good Friday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to what's making news today, let's take a look outside that weather window as we look at some of the hustle and bustle of Wenatchee Avenue on this rainy Friday afternoon. And you can see the street there on Wenatchee Avenue plenty wet as we look down from the Cascadian. And we had that situation all over north central Washington today with a good shot of rain for most of us. And by tomorrow morning, this is about what we'll see as far as totals, maybe up to 1/10 of an inch in Wenatchee. Also Chelan, Omak, you may get a little bit more, but the real moisture is where you head east from about Wilbur into Spokane and then places into the Idaho Panhandle. But boy, we will take it, that's for sure. And we'll talk more weather, including a nice weekend forecast coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A brush fire along Highway 28 south of Fred Meyer in East Wenatchee briefly closed the highway yesterday afternoon. Home prices were up slightly compared to last month, but still way up above 2020 prices. And things are getting serious on the West Cashmere Bridge project. We'll show you what's happening. But first, our top story tonight. A suspected Ephrata drug house was raided Wednesday for the second time this year, and a suspect who's still awaiting trial from the first raid now faces additional charges. 49-year-old Eric Carlin Craig faces multiple new drug charges, including possession of methamphetamine and possession of heroin with intent to deliver. The Grant County Interagency Narcotics Enforcement Team raided the trailer on property at 16860 Frey Road Northwest and reported seizing 41 grams of meth, 29 grams of heroin, and 1 fentanyl tablet and various drug supplies. The home was first raided and Craig was arrested May 25th. The Grant County Sheriff's Office said he was in jail until July 16th when he posted a $15,000 bond. Also arrested in the latest raid was 47-year-old Sean C. Mutzer of Ephrata, who was wanted on 2 outstanding felony warrants for failing to register as a sex offender. A brush fire along Highway 28 south of Fred Meyer in East Wenatchee briefly closed the highway yesterday afternoon. The fire near the highway bypass and 3rd Street was first reported about 4:20 p.m. Douglas and Chelan County firefighters were able to quickly get the burning brush extinguished and the highway reopened. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Total sales and active listings were down while the median sales price of a home in the Wenatchee Valley went up once again. That's the latest from Pacific Appraisal Associates Real Estate Snapshot for August. The median sales price was at $435,000. That's up 21% compared to last year in August, where the median price was just under $360,000. Meanwhile, total home sales were down, with 94 sold last month compared to 121 in August of 2020. Active listings were also down compared to last year, 62 this year and 73 in 2020. The good news is active listings were up 24% in August of this year compared to July. The average number of days for a home on the Wenatchee market for August was 56 days. Well, things are getting serious on the West Cashmere Bridge project. Wednesday night, contractors installed steel girders across the railroad tracks that run parallel to Highway 2 outside Cashmere. Next Thursday, September 16th, Chelan County Public Works says the highway will shut down overnight to allow similar girder work above Highway 2 itself. More nighttime shutdowns are likely to follow on September 20th through the 22nd. From 9:30 p.m. to 5 a.m. those nights, motorists will be directed to a 1-lane bypass road. Delays may be up to 20 minutes, depending on traffic. Well, coming up next, the Chelan Valley Housing Trust has a new executive director. Hundreds of Washington school buildings need upgrades to withstand the risk of earthquakes. Schoolhouses in Chelan and Grant County are among them. And the library staff at Eastmont Junior High created a special display to commemorate the 20th anniversary of the September 11th, 2001 terror attacks on the United States. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Commitment. Determination. It's what it takes to win in the Olympics and in life. I'm Jared Sessler, your Republican candidate for Congress, and I'm ready to do what it takes to get Washington and America back on the podium. I'll fight to get our farms, ranches, and businesses back on track so our families can prosper once again. Go to jaredsessler.com to donate and to get involved. I'm Jared Sessler, and I approve this message.
As the sun sets on another hot summer, let the experts at Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa winterize and close your pool. Closing your swimming pool is the most important service to get right. Letting the professionals from Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa close your pool will ensure that you won't cost yourself thousands of dollars in damage next year. Want to save a little money? Consider dropping the water level yourself and save. Don't wait. Blue Lagoon's pool closing schedule is filling up quickly. Call today.
Raising a family may have seemed overwhelming to your parents, but they weren't. Coach, teacher, life guide, caregiver. Family takes care of family. And as the circle of life continues, you now are their caregiver. It may seem overwhelming, but we're here to help you find the support services necessary so you can provide quality care to your elders.
Call Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington at 1-800-572-4459.
Welcome back. In another news, the Chelan Valley Housing Trust has a new executive director. Stephen Wilkinson takes over from outgoing director and founder Mike Cooney, who's led the nonprofit housing organization since 2018. Wilkinson was formerly a commercial banker in Whatcom County and led an economic development nonprofit in Kansas. The Housing Trust mission is to develop stable, secure, and affordable housing for Manson and Chelan area residents. Well, hundreds of Washington school buildings need upgrades to withstand the risk of earthquakes. Schoolhouses in Chelan and Grant County are among them. The State Department of Natural Resources assessed 561 school buildings over the last 4 years and found 93% of them had a high risk of collapse in a severe quake. Ephrata High School and nearby Grant Elementary School, which date back to the 1950s, are among those listed as high priority to receive seismic retrofits to better withstand shaking. Beaver Valley School in Plain, whose main building is only 20 years old, is only listed at moderate priority, but its original schoolhouse, built in 1916, is more vulnerable to quakes. The state legislature made $40 million available for school seismic retrofits in the current 2-year budget cycle. Well, the library staff at Eastmont Junior High created a special display to commemorate the 20th anniversary of the September 11th, 2001 terrorist attacks on the United States. The display includes a list of names of the 2,997 lives lost that day. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
911. What is the address of your emergency?
Yes, it's me. It's my husband. I think there's something the matter with him.
It was a feeling that I'll never forget, like being able to meet them and know that he survived.
Okay, tell me what's happening. Is he conscious?
No, he's not.
Okay, take a deep breath for me. I'm getting you help.
Rivercom means to me that I still have my husband here with me. They're the ones that guided me through saving his life.
Mary Maids of Wenatchee has been professionally cleaning and sanitizing homes and businesses in north central Washington since 1998. Mary Maids uses commercial-grade cleaners and viricides. Mary Maids has implemented additional safety and sanitation protocols. They are strictly following CDC guidelines for the safety of their clients and employees. For expert help with cleaning and sanitizing your home or business, call or look up Mary Maids of Wenatchee to schedule your free estimate today.
Dr. Wayne Latimer's Chiropractic and Integrative Multicare specializes in all level of injury care. If you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, have a sports injury, or a simple fall, call today for a free consultation. They offer a combined multi-care approach with medical, chiropractic, physical therapy, massage, and acupuncture. For relief from long-standing injuries to basic solutions for the weekend warrior, Latimer's Chiropractic Integrative Multicare is one stop, one location.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Strain on hospital rooms and COVID-19 infections from open-air festivals led Governor Jay Inslee yesterday to mandate facial masks again for large outdoor gatherings along with indoor public spaces. In tonight's feature story, Inslee said in a press conference he'll order masking for everyone at large outdoor gatherings of 500 or more people. The new order goes into effect Monday, meaning events like this weekend Chelan County Fair do not fall under the new requirement.
For anyone wondering why we're doing this, I guess it should be pretty obvious, is because we're seeing evidence of transmission, unfortunately, in outdoor settings. At the Watershed Festival at the Gorge, led to more than 200 infections from that one event, and it was outdoors. The outdoors remain the safest place for people to be, we understand that. But when people are packed tightly together, we're getting transmission and ultimate hospitalizations and death. When you combine large crowds with the Delta variant, without any mitigation measures in place, we're going to keep seeing these super spreader events, even in outdoor environments. Science has proven that masks can reduce the risk of those transmissions.
We at the state are taking actions, and we're taking actions that we know are going to help, but we're also asking for the help of our community members. We are asking our community members to do the right thing by getting vaccinated, masking up, and certainly doing everything they can to champion the cause of fighting this pandemic. We are, as the governor said, in our fifth wave, and as you know, and as the governor highlighted, we're hoping that they are starting to slow the trajectory, but the trajectory still does not change the fact that we have extremely high number of cases every single day that are being confirmed. In addition to that, we are still seeing hospitalizations at an extremely high number. Not only is that from COVID-19, but it's from all the other reasons that people go to the healthcare system. We still want to make sure that it's clear to our community that the healthcare system is there to take care of their healthcare needs. However, we also need to get help from our community members to make sure that we support the healthcare workers. We can always thank our healthcare workers, and we've been doing that for 18 plus months. But ultimately, this isn't just about thanking people, it's also about helping support the work that they are doing within the healthcare system.
Well, this is a requirement on entities that have these organizational pursuits. It can be enforced through the laboring industries, as we have in all of our other systems that have been considerable effective. I've been pleased by our compliance with our masking requirements and our capacity requirements in restaurants and the like. Where we've had a few outliers, there has been enforcement action where necessary. We start with voluntary compliance. That has been effective in most of the time. But if people are non-compliant, they face, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars of fines. And we don't want to have to go that route, but the state certainly will if required.
All right, let's take a look now at your North Central Washington weather forecast. And here we are. It's the weekend time and rain showers throughout our afternoon today. But boy, didn't it smell great out there? That cooler air felt great today. And it was just nice to see the rain fall around the Wenatchee Valley. Didn't pick up a whole lot, but it's still better than nothing. In fact, some areas, though, did have some decent downpours. They were brief at times today, but all in all, looking down at the Wenatchee Valley, it was a wet one. You want to hear something weird? High temperature today was at 1 a.m. at 71 degrees, and since then, our temperature has been falling, and this is pretty much our current temperature, so that is now our low. Weird, huh? 1 a.m., our high temperature for the day. 79 is our normal high for this time of year. 54 is our normal low. Record high 96 back in 2011, and record low was 44 in 1972. We have picked up about 5/100ths of an inch of precipitation today. That will be updated when we get together on Monday, so this should be about 3.06 right now, and that's from the rain that we did see today. Sunrise this morning 6:32, and the sun will set tonight at 7:22. Let's take a look at that Saturday weather, and boy, I'm telling you, I hope you have outdoor plans because it's going to be a really nice weekend. We will warm up tonight, or tomorrow. We'll dry out as well. Mid-70s in Moses Lake and Ephrata, 77 for Quincy, about 78 in the Wenatchee area tomorrow. Not much wind, and it's just going to be nice. 78 in Entiat, and also 78 for you folks up in Omak and even a little farther north in Tonasket. It should be a nice one. Let's take a look at tonight now. We'll see some leftover showers. Rain should end about midnight or so, but still plenty of clouds around through our evening hours with clearing skies overnight, not even ruling out some foggy conditions for the Okanagan Highlands, maybe over in the Moses Lake area as well. And then as we kick off our weekend, mostly sunny skies. It will be dry and temperatures about normal into the upper 70s, and that goes for most of us across eastern Washington. As we get into the last day of the forecast, just a little bit breezy. Don't let it change your plans or anything. Just a little breezy out of the northwest on Sunday, but still mild with highs in the mid-70s for us. High pressure nosing back into the Pacific Northwest. And by Monday, sunny skies once again to kick off our next work week. It will be warm too, with high temperatures in the upper 70s. As we get you to Tuesday, even though this should be our warmest day of the 7-day forecast, we will begin to see some changes. Lots of moisture streaming over the top of this area of high pressure. It'll be, as I said, about 80 degrees on Tuesday, but by Wednesday, look at all of this wind as that system continues to move through Canada, and we will be one of the recipients of very windy conditions on Wednesday. It will be a little bit cooler too, with highs Wednesday in the mid-70s. That cool down will continue as that cold front moves through on Thursday. We will see cooler highs with mostly sunny skies, high temperatures then in the lower 70s, and then this monster moves our way just in time for next weekend. Let's take a look now at your 7-day forecast. Tonight we'll drop down to a chilly 51 degrees with those clearing skies overnight. Beautiful on Saturday and Sunday. 78 Saturday, 77 your high on Sunday. And it'll stay nice on Monday and Tuesday too. Upper 70s to around 80. And then the cool down begins. Wind will usher in the cold front Wednesday and 75. And even cooler than that on Thursday with a high then of only 73 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
When it comes to finding a memory care community, you want the very best. You want to know that your loved one is safe and receiving compassionate care in a loving environment. Fieldstone Memory Care is an innovative assisted living community designed for those with Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's disease. You'll find a community specifically designed to enrich residents' lives. The Fieldstone team is here to help you navigate the important decisions you face when a loved one has dementia or Alzheimer's. Welcome home to Fieldstone.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy finally Friday. The Wenatchee Panthers finally get to play some football this weekend when they host Mount Baker tomorrow night at Lee Bofto Field of the Apple Bowl. Coach Scott Devereaux is pleased to announce they are COVID-free.
We're good COVID-wise. You know, our numbers are not as high as normal for this football season, but so far, for this week, we have not had any COVID issues.
What's the message to the kids as you go through this and we all try to navigate this?
Yeah, well, you know, we just keep trying to social distance. That's the word I use at practice all the time. You know, we have a group huddle at the start of practice, spread out. Social distance. When you're in your line, social distance. I yell at them all the time. Their coaches are reminding them. So if we do have a positive case, it doesn't spread. You know, the one that we had a couple weeks ago, every kid was tested. Every kid tested negative. So it's working, I think. But that's it. I mean, I don't know what else to do. Just keep swinging, keep going forward, and do the best we can with where we're at.
Senior linebacker Silas St. John says having a teammate come down with COVID that canceled Wenatchee's first game was a shock.
Oh, geez. It was devastating. I mean, the teammate that contracted COVID, he felt horrible. And, I mean, all of us, we felt down, but definitely it gave us about probably another week for us to prepare for Mount Baker. So, kind of a blessing in disguise, I guess, making something out of nothing.
Wenatchee's first game against Skyline canceled. Mount Baker game moved back a day because of COVID in the Panther program. Devereaux says the one advantage has been an extra time to prepare.
Well, it was an extra week of exactly that, just preparation, working our best plays out of our best formations, kind of knowing what our opponent's going to do because we see them at summer camp. So an extra week of working on that. It really helped, I think, special teams too. It seems like, we're always a little behind the 8 ball going into that first game. So special teams, I think, got dialed in a little bit better this week.
Wenatchee's game will be played on the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attack. St. John says they plan on doing something special tomorrow.
It definitely means a lot. Colby Hale, he kind of brought to the coaches, he brought to the question, he said, hey, can we bring out a American flag and run it out with us? And coaches were all behind it. They said, yes, sir. That sounds amazing. We want to honor everyone that died during 9/11.
Silas says he wants to someday become a first responder as a firefighter.
I am hoping to go to college, play collegiate football, but if that's not the case, I'm going to be going to a trade school. I'm going to be studying fire, and I want to be a firefighter when I'm older.
Really? Why?
I've always liked to help people. It's kind of been something that deep down I love to go out there and just kind of talk to people. There was one time, I believe 3 years ago now, there was this older woman. Her car was broke down in the Target parking lot, and I pulled over. And me and my friends, they were in my car, and they're like, "Don't go over there. Don't go over there. She's gonna do something sketchy." I went over there, and it was the most pleasant experience ever. It was definitely not life-changing, but it definitely changed my view of people.
See, there are good kids. Wenatchee Mount Baker kickoff tomorrow night, 6 o'clock in the Apple Bowl. Eastmont is on the road to take on 7th-ranked Gonzaga Prep tonight at 7. Wildcats barely hung on to beat Central Valley last week, 33-31, and Coach Michael Don says his team will have to take better care of the football.
We got to clean that stuff up. We can't give the ball away on snaps and exchanges. That was both our 3 turnovers were unforced. It was a muff snap, a muff kickoff, and an exchange, and those are just 3 turnovers you can't have. We'll chalk that up to first game stuff, and we got to clean that up as we get going. We can't have that consistently. It's one thing to throw an interception, it's one thing to fumble and somebody strip you, but to have unforced turnovers is just tough to deal with, and we're just glad we were able to overcome those.
G Prep features a triple option attack offense, which Coach Don says is going to challenge Eastmont's defense.
Assignment football. You got to play assignment football against triple option team. You got to make sure that everybody's got somebody covered up and that we're doing our jobs and not trying to make every play. You've just got to do your play. Against the option, if you try to make every play, you give up big plays, and that's where they get teams is big plays. You'll see them, they'll go 0, they'll go 2, and then they'll go 40. They're just so dangerous, and they got a quarterback, coach's son, runs the offense extremely well. You can tell he's a 3-year starter, and they've got a couple a couple kids who can run the ball well, and they'll spread it out between them, and just got to play assignment football.
Eastmont went through some adversity last week by losing 2 players, but senior linebacker Hunter Moore says it's all about next man up.
Well, obviously Bryce Rowe is a hell of a player. Even though he was in for just a little bit, he made some hell of hits, but in that game we lost him and we brought the next guy up. So as long as we keep having guys that are willing to work, we can always find a way. My main focus on the defense when it comes to that kind of stuff is just keeping everyone together, keeping us as family and keeping us as a unit. Everyone knows what they have to do. They just have to sometimes have someone to keep their head on straight, make sure they know what they're doing.
Eastmont Gonzaga prep kickoff tonight in Spokane at 7 o'clock. Other Big 9 football, Moses Lake travels to Post Fall, Idaho. Davis is at Ellensburg. Sunnyside visits Hermiston. Eisenhower plays at East Valley. West Valley had its second game canceled due to COVID issues with the Rams program. In the Caribou Trail League, Cashmere hosts Goldendale. Cascade will host Kings. Also, it's Chelan at Okanagan, while Quincy has its Battle of the Basin at Ephrata. In B-League play this weekend, Brewster plays at Omak. Waterville Mansfield visits Pateris. Liberty Bell hosts Concrete, and Manson kicks off at Kittitas tonight at 7:30. Oroville travels to Reardon tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Here's a look at this college football schedule for tomorrow for our teams in Washington. Central Washington plays at Eastern at 1 o'clock. Washington State hosts Portland State at 3 on the Pac-12 network. Then at 5 on ABC, it's Washington at Michigan. Seahawks open the NFL season at Indianapolis coming up on Sunday. Hawks, after a 12-4 season in 2020, look to improve on that this year for bigger and better with additions on both sides of the football. New offensive coordinator. Kickoff set for 10 o'clock on Sunday morning. You can watch the game on Fox. Busy night last night in girls prep soccer. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. Eastmont thumped Cascade 12-2. Moses Lake beat Cashmere on the road. Chelan blanked Warden. Quincy bounced Brewster. Tenasket topped Omak, and Bridgeport picked up a 1-0 win over Pateris. On the slate tomorrow, Cascade visits Royal while Bridgeport travels to Lake Roosevelt. Those are early games. 1 o'clock games have Ingraham at Wenatchee. Cashmere is at Ephrata. Manson hosts Brewster. Then at 4, Eastmont entertains Central Valley, while Omak plays at Okanagan. On the volleyball scoreboard last night, Ellensburg shut out Eastmont 3-zip. Ephrata edged East Valley of Spokane 3-1. Cashmere blanked Sultan. Quincy was a loser to Brewster, and Moses Lake Christian beat Bridgeport 3-0. Coming up tomorrow on the volleyball schedule, Brewster visits Waterville Mansfield. Wenatchee has a date at Central Valley. The best game of the weekend probably in Manson, where Chelan will take on the Trojans. Those two teams undefeated last spring. Should be a good one. Wenatchee Valley Super Oval also going to be a big weekend of racing with the Jerry Bershauer Memorial 111 and Tri-State Legends Cup. Huge field expected for the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late Models event featured this weekend. It's typically 100 laps, but since it's September 11th, why not? 111 laps for the weekend. Night also features the Tri-State Legends Cup. The Bandoleros will also have their championship. Toss in the Plump Perfect Roadrunners. Going to be a busy night. I'll be alongside Greg Rentz for your play-by-play starting at 6 o'clock. That's Sports. Grant, back to you.
Thanks, Eric. Sure you don't have a little more sports for us? That's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great weekend.
Counterplay inside, picking his way back to the 10, to the 5, into the... High school sports is back, and NCWLIFE Channel's got you covered. Tune in for football, girls soccer, and volleyball right here. Thanks to our sponsors, Charter College, Confluence Health, Diggs Heating and Air Conditioning, and Global Car Care. Follow all the action of high school sports on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE Channel.